Hey folks, welcome back to the Toronto Humane Society. We've got kind of a different take on this. We've got Matthew Kernigan from the Pleasant Public School in North York, Ontario, and a little bit of a different take than some of the other individuals that we've had on today. So Matthew, you're a teacher, you're a music teacher, grade 1 to grade 3, and you've signed on to this unique project.
Kindergarten to grade 3.
Kindergarten to grade 3, close, almost there.
Yeah.
But you signed up with this project, with the Benjamin Project, in order to, give your students an opportunity to tell their stories, read, put out some content that we're here today with the Toronto Humane Society raising money with. So really, you're one of these kind of pillars in what we're doing today. Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, pal. So, Lisa from 1,000 Trees Publishing, she reaches out to you and says, hey, I've got this book idea. What does that look like? How does this get started?
Basically, she reached out to me and said she had this idea with the Toronto Humane Society. We can partner up together and give my students an opportunity to talk about their love of animals and how animals impact their life, what it looks like in a day in the life of a kindergarten to grade 6 student. Most of my writers are grade 4 to grade 6, but just to kind of get their insight of what it looks like, or the love of animals looks like to them.
I love that, and it's such a unique thing. We've had veterinarians, we've had case social workers here at the Toronto Humane Society, but really at the end of the day, you're kind of hitting home what this is all about. These kids, the love of animals, where it all sort of begins for so many of these people. You probably have, when you start talking about this, everyone in the class starts raising their hand. I want to be a veterinarian. I want to do something with animals. I want to be a puppy, like whatever it looks like. So when the Benjamin Project comes to you and says, hey, listen, we're going to do some writing, where do you go from there? When you say to the families at home, we're going to have your children write a paragraph, write a story, what are the parents looking like? What do they say?
It's been a pretty supportive community, actually. We kind of just put out a form that says if your child's interested in taking part, being a part of this Benjamin Project with the Humane Society to kind of create more support for animals in the area, but also it's creating a little bit of empathy within them and showing the empathetic side of animals and teaching them how to care about other things from a young age.
100%. Yeah, it gives them a little bit of more awareness. I work in the education field as well, and it's always great. I know the kids love when they can tell stories about their real life, about at home, not their school life, but today this happened, or I went this place. Can you tell us, can you remember one of those stories that you've got where you're like, aw, that's pretty incredible?
Well, when you start teaching kindergarten, the first month it's based around, it's called All About Me,
right?
And so and then that kind of doesn't really end in elementary.
I've been doing that for years with James.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, All About Me. That's a good way to do it.
So it's just giving their perspective and their insight and how it makes them feel. And all the stories are so different. Some talk about just a love that they have for animals, but then the next student could talk about their specific animal that they have. Some could be fictional, what they've just seen on TV or seen on videos, and something that might inspire them to kind of adopt a pet later, or kind of look more or research this pet and see how they can kind of help. So every story was kind of their own individual thing. So
I love that.
They just had the opportunity to kind of just speak and share and always bring it back to all about me, just like in kindergarten.
We all are kind of like that.
Yeah.
But getting into your teaching profession, teaching is one of the hardest professions there are. They're taking care of other people's kids. We just talked to a behaviorist in animals, and she was talking about every animal is unique, and to help them, you have to have a unique process. And teaching is no different. You have 30 kids. There are 30 different needs, Why would you want to get into that field? What would be, why would you want to be a teacher? It's not the money.
I guess it's all about paying it forward and just taking where you came from and showing the love that you have for something and being able to give back. And I found my passion in teaching. And being able to show that empathetic side to kids and have them to be able to open themselves up and create that trust with you so that you can get more out of them. If there's no trust there, they'll just do the blanket statement. But if you build that relationship and build that trust, and I find that's one of my best assets is being able to get them to feel comfortable to share their true ideas and kind of get them to from level 1 to level 2, 3, 4,
Right.
and kind of get the things out of their brain or out of their heart that they might not have had the opportunity to do before.
And what better project than the Benjamin Project with 1,000 trees? Because here you just write. Like, you're not giving them any specific, except you have to write about an animal. So they can go and they can explore their own creativity. And then at the end, they get rewarded by this beautiful book that they're a part of, that their family has, their library has. And then they can go and tell their friends, hey, I raised money for the Humane Society. Like, it is just something, it leads them to a future of thinking in that way, of charity, of maybe becoming a writer just because of this exact moment. Like, have you noticed that kids are more excited about writing now because of this project?
Just being able to see themselves in a book, getting back to the all about me part.
Yeah.
They're able to see themselves in this book, and then they're a little bit famous, but that also sets a bar so they could be like, okay, I've already done this. Yeah. There's much more out there for me to be able to do, and different ways to be successful, and just creating those little successes will. And it's a project where they're not getting rated or leveled on their writing. It's just pouring out of their heart, and they're just explaining and expressing to us why they care or what they care about. And at the end, they're going to get to see themselves in a book. And I offered them a pizza party.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
And I understand there's drawings as well. Like, there's a bit of a coloring element. So once we get this book, we get to read the beautiful story and then color at the same time.
And so what they're describing in their writing, you're also going to get to see in an illustration as well. So very cool. It was a really nice project to be a part of, and every day I'm getting asked 50 times when we're going to get to see the Humane Society, when we're going to get to see the book.
I love it.
And I have many questions repeated each day, but I'm happy to answer.
Yeah. So Matt, what would you say to other teachers? Again, this is the kind of the pilot run of this, first time. Your experience working with 1,000 Trees, the Benjamin Project, has it been painful? Have they been every day 100,000 emails?
Is it really hard to
Lisa's
work
over
with Lisa?
Lisa's over in the corner giving me a death stare here.
She's difficult to work with. There's no kindness or love in her heart.
She's been tough. Nothing but love from Lisa. No, she's been great, and just super easy to work with, super easy feedback. Minimal work on my support just to get everybody on board, essentially.
So what would you say to other teachers?
Because what I'm saying, like, especially right now, it's report cards,
100%.
it's IPRCs, there is an ongoing demand of teachers now. Not to mention, like, you get a brand new math program every year that you have to learn and then learn how to teach it. Why would you take the time out of your already busy schedule to do this?
That's just the same thing why we would do any extracurriculars. If we're not doing them, no one else is going to do them, and the students are going to miss an opportunity that maybe I got when I was a kid, and that teacher didn't have to do for me. Okay. And so again, I get back to paying it forward, but just creating opportunity so the students can grow. And the genuine teachers, they don't mind coming in on their Sunday for an interview or for a chat, or putting those few hours extra in their schedule to create those successes and create lifelong learning and that inspiration that we all think about, that one or two teachers that we had growing up that really made a difference. And they didn't do it for the money, and they didn't do it because they had to be there. They did it because that's what they were meant to do. They were put on this earth to inspire and to push kids to learn and be excited about learning and take chances. And sometimes it's the world's bigger than money, and we need to remember that.
Well, and all too often and sometimes you don't get the credit you deserve. Society kind of kicks at you guys every once in a while. I'm sure you get a few calls from parents being like, the me about their own children. Would you recommend this to other teachers that are in your position as we grow this and continue moving down that track, this process?
Personally, I will even be reaching out to other teachers in my school and letting them know it was minimal work on my end, and it created so much good.
Awesome.
The time that you're putting in is much less than you're doing during the week already. It's much less than even an extracurricular sport or activity. Sure. So it's something that you do because you care, and then you're working with people that care also. So it's just a really happy, positive environment, and who doesn't want to be a part of that?
It's been wild. Again, Lisa with the 1,000 Trees Publishing. We have Malcolm with the Benjamin Project. we have ran into people here at the Toronto Humane Society. This has been a kind of a wild endeavor for us, walking in the door, doing all the setup, and then having all these people on their day off. These are people that are doing other things. They have other life projects that they're working on, but are here because this is so important to them. So, Matthew, I want to thank you so much, pal. I love what you're doing. The kids that you're involved with are better off today, better off with what you folks have put together here. And hopefully, you know, they're going to look down the road and you're going to be one of those teachers that they look back on, because we all too often we have very few of those. But I appreciate what you're doing. I think it's beautiful. What would you say to a teacher that's looking to take this on? What would your advice be?
I would say it's worth its weight in gold.
I love that.
Just for the minimal effort that you're having to do, the inspiration you're creating, and the excitement that the kids have from it. I put in minimal effort, and I've been asked, like I said, 50 times a day for the last 6 weeks about it. So
awesome.
it doesn't take much to put a smile on a kid's face, and that's.
And in the education field, this is how it works. Like if you have a farmer come in, you create that idea of, I want to be a future farmer, or you have an economist come in, which is something that schools are starting to do and they should do more. You have that idea because these kids are so young, they don't know the world. And here is this opportunity about the Humane Society where I could be a writer and I can help out, because as we've mentioned over and over again, volunteers are important. They need more volunteers. They need people to take dogs for short periods of time. But the number one thing they need is money. And here's a unique opportunity to raise money. You get something out of it, and they get something out of it. And I love that you're a part of it. You're changing children's lives because of it. And also we're helping animals and helping people. We're not helping the Humane Society take dogs and rehome. You've heard over and over again, we're helping you out there keep your dog in your house forever. And I don't know about you, but at any point that I think about losing my dog, for any reason, it tears my heart apart and tears my soul apart, and could possibly tear families apart.
Absolutely.
Because this is a big thing. Yeah. So get out there, buy this book, especially if you go to a school. What better way to help out this young man change lives than buy a book and make these children
satisfy them.
I'm sure they're going to have an author's night where they read the book.
And do sign. Beautiful. Ascots for everybody.
Thank you
folks.
So much.
Again, thank you so much for joining us, Matthew. A pleasure. We'll probably see you again, pal.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. You out there, thank you again for joining us, and again, support us in any way you possibly can.
Like, share, and subscribe. We were supposed to say that once in a while.
Sorry.